So, hello and welcome to a new episode of History by Bike. And for today, our new topic will be about the historic relations between Imperial China and that of the pre-colonial polities that can be found in the Philippines. So, before we begin our new episode, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And this is History by Bike, and welcome to my new episode, the relations between Imperial China and that of the pre-colonial polities here in the Philippines. According to Chinese records, Filipinos went to China before the Chinese came to the Philippines. As late as the Tang Dynasty, the Chinese had no knowledge of any land between Taiwan and Java, unless an undescribed place called Polo, southeast of Cambodia, is to be identified with Borneo. The farther reaches of the South China Sea were considered the end of the world, a mysterious and dangerous region containing only a few legendary islands inhabited by dwarfs and people with black teeth. But by the 10th century, a luxury trade in foreign exotica coming up the Champa coast, Vietnam, from Srivijaya, Palembang, and the Strait of Malacca had become such an important part of China's economy that the first emperor of the Song dynasty took steps to control it. An edict of 972 indicates that Mindoro, Mai, was part of that trade. In the fourth year of the Kaipao period, a superintendent of maritime trade was set up in Guangzhou and afterwards in Hangzhou and Mingzhou. Also, a superintendent was appointed for all Arab, Aceh, Java, Borneo, Mai, and Srivijaya barbarians whose trade passed through there, they taking away gold, silver, strings of cash, lead, tin, many-colored silk and porcelain, and fine steel, sea turtle leather, tortoiseshell, carnelians and agate, carriage wheel rim, crystal, foreign cloth, ebony sappan wood, and such things. 5 years later, the Song court established direct contact with Borneo. A merchant from China with the Arab-sounding name of Pu Liu Xie, Pu was a common Chinese transliteration of Abu, persuaded the leader of Brunei of the advantages of tributary status with the Celestial Empire, and volunteered to guide a Bornean vessel there with tribute and voice himself. The Bornean ruler took the advice, and in Peking, his envoys presented a memorial which requested that the emperor order the Cham ruler not to intercept Bornean ships should they be blown there off course, and informed the court that Brunei was a 30 days sail from both Mai and Champa. Thus, whatever route Pu Liu Xie may have used, these details suggest that Borneo was already trading with both Mai and Champa. but that the ordinary road to China was via Champa, not the Philippine archipelago. In 982, however, Mai traders appeared on the Canton coast, not on a tribute mission, but with valuable merchandise for sale, presumably having sailed there direct. A tribute mission was the Chinese idea of the fit diplomatic approach from the underdeveloped states and tribes which were historically her neighbors. The tribute, preferably exotica like pearls or frankincense and myrrh, was an acknowledgement of the emperor's primacy among human rulers, not a tax or direct source of revenue. The tributary states did not become colonies or part of the imperial administrative system. They were simply enrolled as independent states now occupying their proper niche in the Chinese cosmic order of things. The emperor, in his role as the Son of Heaven, loaded tribute-bearing envoys with gifts intended to demonstrate China's grandeur and extend her cultural sway. Brocaded court costumes with gold and jade encrusted belts and high-sounding titles, bolts of marketable gossamer silks fit for the tropics, and long strings of coins of the realm. It is more than 600 years ago when Sulu Sultan Paduka Pahala visited the Ming court of Yongle Emperor Zhu De in 1417. Together with his family and his loyal Tausug officials, retinue and slaves, they sailed through the same waters that is claimed by both countries today. During this time, the Ming has just established their rule after driving out the Mongols from China. It was also during this time when China has re-established its influence outside its borders with ships from Zhenghe reaching India, the Middle East, and even Africa. The visit of the Sultan is a perfect time to re-establish good trading relations with the Chinese. In exchange for silk, porcelain, and exquisite products from the Chinese, the Sulu Sultanate gave extravagant tribute of spices, pearls, and other exotic tropical products not found in the great cities of Nanjing, Kaifeng, Beijing, and Guangzhou. According to Ming chronicles and Sulu oral histories based from the Grand Vizier Datu Albi Jukalnain, the eastern king of Sulu, Buwansa and Holo, Paduka Pahala or Paduka Batara, the western king of Mahalachali, Pangaturan, Maharaja, and king of Mountain Kalabating, Dungon, Tawi-Tawi, called Paduka Prabhu, brought their families and their chiefs, altogether more than 350 persons, to China carrying their tributes to the emperor. The Sultan's state visit was accorded with lavish ceremonies culminated with the exchange of gifts. They were billeted in luxury accommodation and were entertained by servants befitting that of royalty. It is not known, but it is widely believed that on October 8, 1417, the Sultan contracted a mysterious disease in the middle of his trip along the Grand Canal and died at Dezhou. The emperor has commissioned artisans and sculptors to build a tomb for the deceased sultan, which still stands today. It was a royal funeral, even formal for a Chinese king, and he was even accorded with an honorable name, Gong Ding. In the epitaph, the Yongle emperor wrote, "Now then, the king, brilliant and sagacious, gentle and honest, especially outstanding and naturally talented, as a sincere act of true respect for the way of heaven, did not shrink from a voyage of many tens of thousands of miles to lead his familial household in person, together with his tribute officers and fellow countrymen, to cross the sea routes in a spirit of loyal obedience. A Chinese-style portrait of the late Sultan with his sons will greet you at the entrance. The path leading to the tomb is decorated with the same features as that of a royal burial place for a Chinese prince. It was filled with stone tablets, royal monuments, and sculptures of sheep, horse, and human. So what happened after Paduka Pahala died? His eldest son, Rakia Baginda, accompanies his mother back to Sulu to succeed his father as Sultan. The late Sultan's second wife, Gemuning, or Kamulin, remained with her two younger sons to guard the tomb and observe the 3-year mourning rites. As respect to the family left behind, the Yongle Emperor has made sure that the family is well provided with accommodations and pensions. Although Gemuning returned to Sulu in 1424, she returned to China and never went back to the homeland. A Chiuchow Gazette in the 18th century described what happened to the two sons. His second son Wenhali and third son Antulu and some 18 followers stayed to tend the tomb. At that time, they could not mix with the Chinese because of their language, but the Muslims all took them in and led their children and grandchildren to practice their Muslim customs, so they adopted their faith. Now there are 56 households of them scattered in the northern and western, and they intermarry with the Muslim people. It is believed that when Gemuning and her two sons died, their remains were buried in the same mausoleum that housed their father's tomb. Oral traditions suggested that his descendants who remained in China were eventually absorbed into the Hui ethnic group and became Chinese subjects by the 9th year of the Kangxi Empire in 1731. Apparently, taken from their forefathers' names, the surnames An and Wen became common in over 3,700 modern-day 20th generation descendants in Dezhou and across China. Alright, so this will be the end of our episode for today, and I hope that you liked our topic, which is the historic relations of the pre-colonial polities in our islands and that of the Imperial Chinese. So I hope that you stay tuned for our following episodes, and also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.